There we go. Wow, aren't we lucky to have heard that original recording of a young lady in 1574 texting for the first time on her Nokia 3310. Truly remarkable. Hello and welcome back to the final couplet with me, Theo Cowan. I apologise for being away for the last 2 weeks. That's crazy. This is the first time in nearly 3 years that I've had more than a week off. And I've been busy, I'm sorry, and I just didn't have the time to sit down and look at a Shakespeare sonnet. And for those of you that thought, he's given up. He's given up at sonnet 140. That would be crazy. Of course I haven't done that. You're mad to think I've done that. I haven't come this far to stop at 140. So, look, we're back. And we're ready for the home straight. The last... God, I always forget how many sonnets there actually are. 100... So, we've got 14 left. Can you believe it? And I have said before that I'm enjoying this this last run-in. Shakespeare's losing his bloody mind out there. He's annoyed at this woman that he's seeing because she's sort of taken on various lovers and he's not her only love, and that's frustrating him, and he seems to be unravelling. And looking ahead, we've got quite the spiteful little sonnet to look over now. So without further ado, let's take a listen to sonnet 141. In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors note. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who in despite of view is pleased to dote. Nor are mine eyes with thy tongue's tune delighted, nor tender feeling to base touches prone, nor taste, nor smell, desire to be invited to any sensual feast with thee alone. But my 5 wits, nor my 5 senses can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee, who leaves unswayed the likeness of a man, thy proud heart's slave and vassal wretch to be. Only my plague thus far I count my gain, that she that makes me sin awards me pain. So there we have it, sonnet 141, and here he's talking about the senses. He's talked about the senses before in various other sonnets. He likes to talk about the senses. And here he's saying, look, you know, I've got my eyes, I've got my ears, I've got my taste, I've got my feel, and they are separate, quite separate to my heart. It seems like his senses aren't really into... I'm going to keep calling her the Dark Lady because that's what everyone calls her. His senses aren't really into the Dark Lady. His senses have got a bit of a problem with the Dark Lady, actually. Categorically not into her. But his heart, God, his heart is just all the way with her. His heart's in 100%. And that is what is frustrating him. So he's all at odds with himself, really. And once again, he's left confused and ultimately miserable. But I think we should break this down line by line and work out what the hell Shakespeare was going on about in sonnet 141. So we start with, in faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes. Relatively straightforward. In faith, I think we can sort of translate to I swear. That's quite a classic translation. So I swear I don't love you with my eyes. Which is a hell of an opening line to a love sonnet, isn't it? When I'm looking at you, I don't love you. Oh, thanks for that. Cheers, Shakespeare. And then he continues with, for they in thee 1,000 errors note. So he carries on the thought. And he says, because they see, his eyes see, 1,000 things wrong with the woman he's looking at, aka the Dark Lady. So he's looking at her and go, no, horrible hair, nasty little eyes, rotten lips. What else we got? Just gross skin, just not nice. Ugly little feet, sort of knock knees, and yeah, just not into it really. long toenails and weird little bumps all over her body. I don't know what he's seeing. We've just got to imagine that. He's not saying specifics, but he's saying he's seeing 1,000 errors. So there's a lot of errors. There's a lot of errors he's seeing in her. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise. So the eyes are seeing 1,000 errors, but it's my heart that loves what my eyes hate. So my heart is quite the opposite to the eyes. The eyes are having a horrible time, but his heart is still just pure love for this woman, who in despite of view is pleased to dote. So a similar thought really, because the heart can't see, obviously the heart doesn't have eyes, we know that. The heart just loves what the eyes hate, and the heart dotes on this woman. And the eyes are probably there going, are you seeing what I'm seeing? The heart's going, I can't see. I can't see. I don't have eyes. And the eyes are like, well, if you did have eyes, you would not want to date this woman. Then he continues with, nor are mine ears with thy tongue's tune delighted. So he's bringing in how she speaks here. So he's saying his ears, they're having a horrible time as well, just like his eyes. And they're listening to her talk, and they hate it. They hate the way she sounds. I mean, we can only guess as to what her voice is like. Maybe it's, I don't know, it's hard to say, isn't it? But maybe it's the things she's saying that he doesn't like, or the way she speaks. But it's pretty clear that his eyes see 1,000 problems with how she looks, and his ears hate how she sounds. But he doesn't end there, nor tender feeling in base touches prone. So here I'm thinking he's saying, nor do I want to mess up my delicate touch by sort of touching you, groping you, really. Because base touches, so we're not talking about just sort of like a little touch of the cheek. We're talking about gross sort of groping here. And he's saying he doesn't want to grope her. So he doesn't want to mess up his amazing delicate touch by groping her. Where she's probably going, well, thanks, yeah, I didn't want to be groped anyway, so that's definitely a good thing for me. So far, his eyes are annoyed, his ears are annoyed, his touch is annoyed. What else we got? Nor taste, nor smell, desire to be invited to any sensual feast with thee alone. So, of course, he's bringing in taste and smell. He's saying, nor do my taste or smell want to be invited to any sensual feast of you. So they don't want to get involved either. You taste bad? I don't know, maybe that's sort of a sexual thing, or maybe just the kiss is bad. I don't know how sexual he's getting. Probably quite sexual because it's Shakespeare. She doesn't taste good, and she stinks. Smelly, stinky woman. So that whether that's BO or just, I mean, we don't know again, but we've just got to guess. So she's really painted as this truly horrific person in many ways. But thank God that his heart is in 100%, right? So now comes the but. But my 5 wits, nor my 5 senses, can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee. So neither his 5 wits or his 5 senses can persuade his stupid heart to stop serving and loving this woman. Because, as we all know, the heart trumps all, right? Then he continues this thought with, who leaves unswayed the likeness of a man, thy proud heart's slave and vassal wretch to be. And here he's essentially saying, you leave me a shell of a man, whilst my heart is proudly your slave and property. So his heart is fully devoted and dedicated to her. Using the term vassal here, a vassal was under the king or queen, so dedicated to the king or queen. So he's being clear that despite his senses and his wits, his heart has made him a slave to her. God, you'd hate to receive this poem, wouldn't you? Is that what you think of me? So why'd you love me? Eh? Why's your heart so into me? If everything else hates me, tell me that, Shakespeare. That's what I'd be saying if I received it. And now the final couplet. Only my plague thus far I count my gain. That she that makes me sin awards me pain. And here he's saying, I only gain one thing from this plague to love. The woman who's making me sin rewards me with pain. So I think he's sort of a gag here, isn't it? Because he's not rewarded with anything good. He's rewarded with pain and anguish. As he's talked about in previous sonnets, she is not treating him well in his eyes. So this plagued love, the woman who's making him sort of do these bad things. I mean, I don't really know what he's talking about by making him sin. But she's just rewarding him with more pain. So it's a bloody nightmare. And he's confused. He's freaking out. So there we have it. Sonnet 141 broken down. Shakespeare's senses are at odds with his heart. I'd like to say we've all been there, but I honestly don't think we have. I mean, if you have, then please let me know. Get in touch. If all of your senses have been so anti someone, but your heart has been into them, just let me know. That's because that is a wild feeling, I imagine. Now, I think it's about time we put this to our story. And if you remember, well, I would like to say last week, but 3 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago now, Shakespeare was in this predicament. He was in the pub with the dark lady. The dark lady was flirting with the barman, and he'd already had a word with her. And then he's gone to the toilet, he's come back, dark lady's missing, barman's missing. He discovers them in this closet in the pub. And she's in there with the barman, of course, and another man and a woman. So it's a sort of crazy little orgy situation going on in there. They're making out, going crazy. Shakespeare's fuming, of course. He's like, what's going on here? I thought you were just with me. And he drags the dark lady out of the closet and says to her, I thought we were exclusive here. What's going on? And she's like, Shakespeare, I'm not that into you, actually. Like, I want to be with other people. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think we can just be us two together. That barman's pretty hot, and the other guy in the closet's not bad either, and the woman. And I'm enjoying myself. Sorry. Shakespeare, of course, had prepared a sonnet for this a couple of nights ago. So he read to her Sonnet 140. While she walked away from him back into the pub. They'd been having this conversation outside, of course. So Shakespeare was sort of chasing the dark lady back into the pub whilst reading Sonnet 140. And essentially saying, look, keep your eyes on the prize, aka me. If your heart is off wandering and trying to be with other people, please just, keep looking at me. All right? I am the prize here. Forget the barman, forget everyone else. It's just me, baby. Now, that's where we left off. Let's see how Sonnet 141 fits into all this. Shakespeare finishes reading Sonnet 140 to the dark lady. And really, I should be saying at her, because she hasn't really been listening. She's wandered back into the pub. Shakespeare's followed her, and it's quite loud in there. He's trying to shout above the din, and it hasn't really landed how he wanted it to. She's back at the bar. She's chatting to the barman again, and Shakespeare says, "Did you hear any of that?" And she said, "Sorry, no, sorry, I didn't really catch that, Shakespeare." And he was like, "Oh, bloody hell! I spent ages writing that sonnet, for God's sake. You could have at least had a listen." And she's like, "I've listened to, 40 of your sonnets by now? Give me a break. I'm just trying to chat to the barman here." And the barman says, "Yeah, back off. We're having a chat. We're flirting. Whoever the hell you are, you can get out of the pub." And Shakespeare says, "Who the hell I am? I'm William Shakespeare." And the barman says, "I honestly have no idea who you are, mate. I think you should leave." And Shakespeare says, "You know what? I will leave, but I'm going to leave with the woman I came with." And he tries to drag the dark lady out of the pub. She pushes him off her and says, "Back off, Shakespeare. I'm staying here." And Shakespeare says, "Well, I'll be waiting outside for you, okay? Do what you want in the pub, but I will be waiting for you." And with that, he leaves the pub and stands outside and waits. Hours go by. It's quite cold outside. Shakespeare's shivering. People walk past him, pointing and laughing for some reason. Don't know why they're laughing at him, but it makes him feel bad. And he says, "Hey, shut up. Leave me alone. I'm just waiting for someone. More hours go by. It must be 3, 4 in the morning. Eventually, the dark lady stumbles out of the pub. She's had a few drinks and looks like she's had a great night. Shakespeare says, there you are. And she says, oh, bloody hell, Shakespeare, you're still here. I really thought you'd have gone by now. I mean, have I been 8 hours in there? Shakespeare says, yes, but I wanted to show you how dedicated I am to you. Just how much my heart loves you. And the dark lady says, oh, right, great. I'm going to go home now. And Shakespeare watches her as she walks off into the distance. And then suddenly he gets this spurt of new energy and he goes, hey, you know what, hey. And he runs after her. Hey, you, hey. You know what? You're not all that, by the way. Yeah, listen up. You think you're pretty? You're not. Your voice doesn't sound very good, yeah? I don't even honestly want to touch you most of the time. And you're stinky. There, I said it. Someone had to say it. The dark lady says, oh, that was quite mean of you, Shakespeare. I don't think that's warranted. And Shakespeare says, yeah. So I'm telling it how it is. But my heart does still love you. And fine, I'm going to say it. Whilst you were in the pub, I did write another sonnet. And this one, yeah, it is a little bit mean, I guess. But and she says, is it sort of what you've already just told me about how your eyes don't like me and how I stink? And Shakespeare says, yeah, a little bit of that. But ultimately it's saying that my heart loves you loads. So can I read it to you? And the dark lady laughs at him and says, seriously? You wanna tell me how sort of ugly I am and how you don't want to touch me and stuff? And Shakespeare says, well, yeah, because I think the sonnet sort of puts it in a better way. And the dark lady says, no, I'm not going to listen to you. Read that to me. And Shakespeare says, well, like I said before, it's a free world, so I am going to read it to you out loud. And the dark lady sighs, starts walking away, and Shakespeare slowly pulls out Sonnet 141 from his back pocket and chases after her, reading Sonnet 141. I swear I don't love you with my eyes, because they see 1,000 things wrong with you. But it's my heart that loves what my eyes hate. Despite what you look like, my heart dotes on you. Nor are my ears delighted by the way you talk. Nor do I want to mess up my delicate touch by groping at you. Nor do my taste or smell want to be invited to any sensual feast of you. But neither my 5 wits or my 5 senses can persuade my stupid heart to stop serving you. You leave me a shell of a man, whilst my heart is proudly your slave and property. I only gain one thing for this plagued love. The woman who's making me sin rewards me with pain. So there we have it, Sonnet 141, and the story to go with it. I liked this sonnet. It was really mean-spirited, and I like when Shakespeare gets very mean-spirited. But he's also trying to sort of bring it back and turn it around and saying that he loves her, but ultimately he's been very rude and mean about her. So he's in one of his weird little places, and I like when Shakespeare gets into his weird little places. I think it makes him a complex, interesting, paranoid little man. Right, I'll be back next week, and then for Sonnet 143, I have a guest on. And hopefully I'll be having a few more guests before the podcast finishes. So tune in, and see you soon. Bye!